Raekwon Watson in there as well. Number 11 at 5'11", the senior guard. And then, of course, number 3, the senior, 6'6", Garrett Giles. So Clinton's student section comes alive. Oak Ridge's starting lineup goes 5'11", 6'6", 6'6", 6'6", and 6'5". Biggest lineup Oak Ridge has had since the days of T. Higgins, Javian Johnson, E.J. Bush, Javonte G., and I'll remember Tajon Jones. It's like I can see his face, but his name was escaping me. Sorry about that, Tajon. I know who you are. For whatever reason, my mouth wasn't working. Tip goes to Oak Ridge. They get a quick three-pointer from Charlie Taubenheim, who flexes after the three. Oak Ridge in the backcourt. Here's a steal. Taubenheim, will he jam it? No, he'll get fouled. Charlie had that look in his eyes that he was getting ready to put someone on a poster, and wisely Clinton said, we're going to foul you before we get the opportunity. Foul goes on Camden Nelson. That's his first, team first, and Taubenheim goes to the line for a chance at 2, with the Wildcats leading 3-0, 7:37 to go in the ballgame. Mike, I don't know if you heard me earlier. It was a little bit noisy. Clinton had 2 jersey swaps. One I pointed out to you. The other, Braylon Hayward, is actually wearing number 1 tonight. Not sure the last-second jersey swap, why they did that, but oh well. Charlie Taubenheim hits the first, misses the second one, but Oak Ridge gets the rebound off the miss on the second one. Garrett Giles gets another miss. He tries to put it back, and he was held. What does that result in? Number 3 going to the line for 2. So Oak Ridge has it 4-0 to the free throw line with the lead. Goes Garrett Giles for 2. Oak Ridge in their traditional home uniforms, white with Cardinal numerals, a big Cardinal OR, and it looks like just the slightest hint of gray outlining the numerals. Really good-looking uniforms from Oak Ridge. 5-0 the score as Giles hits the first. 7:32 to play in the opening quarter. Not even 30 seconds into this ball game, and Oak Ridge leads it 6-0. The same score Oak Ridge led by to start the girls' game. Boys JV victorious, girls victorious. The guys hoping to make it a clean sweep against Clinton, something we've seen all too often if you're a Dragon fan. Quick foul on the other end. Clinton drove the basket, and it looks like Cooper Williams is going to get called with Oak Ridge's first foul. So inbounding the ball underneath will be the Dragons. Trying to get something in going inbounds, and they do with Bollinger. Here comes Clinton, maybe an arm held, no call though. Oak Ridge has got numbers. Giles, will he put him on a poster? No. He stops, and they're going to say he walked. Yeah. Mike, you thought that was the right call.
I do. I hate to say that, but I do agree. He took an extra step.
So Giles kind of laughs it off. Oak Ridge still in the lead, 6-0 early on in this one. Raekwon Watson playing defensive back, can't swat the long pass down, but he will get the steal afterwards. Here comes Watson. Will he dish it off? No, he's going to stop for 3. He's going to nail a 3. Oak Ridge leading at 9-0, and Coach Donnie Domes Jr. has seen enough. Coach Chris Lockard wanted that timeout. He's assisted by Troy Thackerson, Chase Lockard, Chris Poole, and Andrew Shupman. Here comes Clinton. Racing this way come the Dragons. They're going towards Oak Ridge's student section. Nice pump fake from Bryson Maddox. He's a good football player, as we all know, and looks like he's a good basketball player, too. Here comes Watson for 3. Off the mark, no good. Clinton gets the rebound, and out of there with it will they come. Here comes Nelson. Camden Nelson gives it to Maddox. Maddox inside the dish. Nelson, it's swatted away by Shamar Green. Oak Ridge now. Here comes the lob. No, layup, late layup by Raekwon Watson. It was a nice defensive play to force the confusion, and Oak Ridge blew an opportunity on a 2-on-1 break. Stripped away after the rebound. Here comes Clinton with it. Maddox, left side, corner 3, sunk it. So after starting off trailing 9-0, Clinton races back, and it's 9-5. Maddox clapping in the face of Charlie Taubenheim after that one. Charlie not reacting. Oak Ridge gets it into Green. Green out top to Cooper Williams. It's good from 3. 5:55 to go here in this exhilarating first quarter. Clinton with it. They're trapped in the backcourt. Can they create a turnover? No. They almost walked with it, but before the walk, they're going to say Oak Ridge held. Which player will it be? It will be Raekwon's first foul. So he commits the foul. Clinton retains possession. Charlie Taubenheim comes out, and into the ball game for the first time for the Wildcats will come Ethan James, a 6'1", 170-pound sophomore guard. Built like a running back. Athletic for sure. And here comes the Dragons. Here come the Dragons, excuse my grammar there. Here comes Maddox sizing up against Garrett, and he beats him but can't finish the layup. Raekwon Watson with it. He doesn't have numbers, and wisely will back the ball out. Here comes a warning on Coach Lockard. Here comes a coach's warning on Coach Lockard, and he's still barking. If I'm Coach Lockard, I would watch it because the official is still looking and he's still barking. So we'll see who wins that battle. As Oak Ridge inbounds it, here it goes to Cooper Williams. Cooper inside to Giles. Giles passes a little long. Giles is going to get called for a charge. Probably the right call. I thought the Clinton player was a little bit of an acting job, but I do think that Garrett threw the shoulder, which I think is why the call went against Oak Ridge.
Yeah, he backed into him pretty hard, and like you said, he raised that right shoulder and he got caught.
Here comes the inbound, 94 feet from their basket. Clinton has it in the backcourt. And they get it across half court finally. Camden Nelson gives it off left side to Bollinger. Tegan Bollinger. Excuse me. A little bit of confusion as their roster is different from what we have. Clinton working around with it up top to Nelson. Matched up against Ethan James. Ethan James nearly swats the ball away, forces him to pass it, and it goes up top to Maddox. And almost back to the mid-court stripe. He's finally going to try to work inside against Watson. Firing a pass like a quarterback inside was Maddox, and it was just a little bit too hard for Braylon Hayden, excuse me. And here comes Watson. Watson, left side, it goes to James. James passes it inside. Great touch on the pass to Shmar Green, and his shot was swatted. Racing back the other way come the Dragons. Up top with it now. Is he going to shoot it? Is he not? He's going to think better of it, and Caden Eisen passes the ball. Nelson has it. 5-second count on, guarded closely by Raekwon Watson. And here comes Richardson. Richardson inside to Eisen. Eisen, one-on-one matchup with Garrett Giles. Oak Ridge wins that matchup, and they call Garrett with the foul. So, you know, Mike, I'm a firm believer. Officials are human. And after Coach Lockard kind of chewed that official out, the official acted like he was upset with Coach Lockard, but what has happened since? 2 foul calls on Garrett Giles, and Coach Green just gets a warning from that same official. So very interesting, when you start barking, this particular official, it's made an impact. Coach Green looks astounded, as am I, because I'm not really sure what happened. I just know the game has changed officiating-wise since Coach Lockard got that warning. 12-6 the score. After an exciting start here, Oak Ridge in the lead with 4:06 to play in the opening quarter from Wildcat Arena. Wildcats looking to get their 3rd win of the season. They would move to 3-1 with a win tonight. Eisen's second shot is good, and it's a 5-point lead for the Wildcats as Oak Ridge brings the ball down the court. Raekwon going off a Shmar Green screen. Nothing there. He's going to stop, turn around, long jumper, no good, and Eisen comes out of there with it. He's going to give it ahead to Nelson, who's going to give it up to Richardson. Richardson back to Nelson, or Eisen, excuse me. Nelson trying to get it. He finally does. He's going to try to split a couple of defenders, and Oak Ridge is going to get called for a foul call on a reach-in by Ethan James. I don't think it was a great call, but I think why they called it, from the angle of the official, James was reaching. He was kind of lunging for it. And we'll see. Oak Ridge quickly gets Garrett Giles back into the game. He's got to be careful. He's got an offensive foul and one on the defensive end. That's 5 fouls against Oak Ridge, so the official steps in and correctly calls that it will be a 1-and-1, and they're going to get more free throws. Oak Ridge coach Aaron Green not happy. He gets teed up, and Coach Aaron Green said, good. I heard him from here, and I'm just not sure what this official, what has gotten into him, why he's so angry early on in this game. We came to see the guys in Cardinal and Gray play the team in orange and black, and instead it's the official show so far. Just the one. First free throw is good, and like I said, this particular official, if you're watching the replay, is one we're familiar with. I mean, he's typically a pretty good official. I just don't understand why he has gotten so offended early on in this game by these two officials, or these two coaches. The free throws were good on the technical foul, so now Eisen will go back. As Maddox hit the free throws, Eisen will go back for his 1-and-1 attempt. They're going to call it shooting foul? I guess it's all double bonus. Excuse me, Mike. Everything's double bonus nowadays. So they get the first one, no good. But I'm not sure why Oak Ridge isn't allowed to go in there to rebound for this second one. So he hits the second one, and Clinton will get the ball back. So Clinton was up. Oak Ridge was up 12-5. They hit 4 free throws. And Mike?
And Kason Eisen has 5 points now, all from the free throw line.
Oak Ridge has been called for 5 fouls, Clinton for 2 in this opening quarter. 12-10 your score, and that's where it will stay as Clinton bricks a 3. Cooper Williams with a nice rebound inside. Gives it off to James. Ethan James passes it up court to Garrett Giles on the right elbow. He's going to get it inside to Williams. Big Coop has the mismatch. He's going to get hammered, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Clinton had no option but to foul Cooper Williams underneath. He just a size mismatch, not only the height, Mike, but the strength.
Yeah, Tristan Lundy didn't stand a chance on that play. He tried to slow Shamar down, or Cooper down, but it didn't work.
Tristan Lundy, the 6-foot junior, on the foul. Clinton's third of the ball game. Cooper Williams hits the first free throw, and Eisen and Bollinger will come back into the ball game. Excuse me, Mike, I told you wrong. Forgive me, Mike. We have to try to figure it out at halftime. Some of these jerseys, it looks like they keep changing them. I think just a little bit confusing. Cooper makes both free throws. Here's Ethan James still on the press. It's good. Layup. Wildcats back up by 2 possessions. It's 16-10. Clinton trying to e-bound it, 93 feet away from the basket, and they throw the ball away. 1 foot into the floor, and they threw the ball errantly into the front row. So Garrett Giles and the Wildcats will take over possession in their own front court. Struggling to get it in. It's going to be tipped away. Giles' pass was intended for James, and it was big Jackson Alcorn, the 6'3 sophomore, who pokes that one away. Oak Ridge gets the ball in. It goes inside to Giles. Giles, nice pass left side to James. James gets it stripped away, and here comes Clinton. Maddox trying to go dunk it, and he's going to get fouled by Cooper Williams. He tried to finger roll layup after the contact, but it rimmed out, no good, so he'll go to the line for 2. That will be Cooper Williams' first foul, Mike? His second, excuse me. So Malik Howard, his first moments as a basketball Wildcat of the season after he was not with the team through their first 3 games as he was still playing football. Most Wildcat fans happy to say that because that meant they made a deep run at it. Howard did get shaken up about late in that season at the Lenore City game, if you'll remember. Had to sit out a few games, but finally made his way back in that last game, made an impact, caught a touchdown. So we'll see if he's 100% healthy. I'm not sure if he's 100%, but he is going to give it a go tonight. Free throws were good at 16-12 with 2:53 to go in the opening quarter. James out there alongside Taubenheim, Howard, Green, and Giles. Giles has it at the top of the key, working against a much smaller Nelson. They get it into Shamar Green. Oak Ridge, a little log jam. Here comes Howard. Fouled. No! He made a layup, but they're going to say he walked. Mike, not uncommon for a football player. I didn't see that walk, but not uncommon for a football player kind of working his way back to not have his footwork exactly right.
Well, I think that was a little bit on the questionable side. I didn't think he walked.
Clinton airballed their own shot. You can't do that. They didn't call it. Garrett Giles, they airballed and caught their own rebound, which, again, you're not supposed to be able to do that, but Giles gets the ball back the other way. Giles, top of the key, straight away, good from 3. And he points and looks at the student section from Clinton. Here comes Nelson trying to get across the half-court line, and Oak Ridge backs off the pressure, and he does just that. That whistle is from Coach Chris Lockard. Now Oak Ridge fans whistling back at him as there's a battle of the whistles here with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Oak Ridge up by 7, 19-12. Sounds like a Vanderbilt baseball game out here. Maddox with it, sizing up the Oak Ridge defender, Giles. Here comes Clinton with it. It's Bollinger. Bollinger over to Eisen. Eisen, top of the key. They get it to Maddox to the top of the key. A lot of moving, but not a lot of doing anything from the Dragons. Oak Ridge is pretty good student section, but there's only about 6 guys standing. I'm not sure when sitting down became an option in the student section, but I'm not for that. 'Cause back in my day, we had to stand. As Clinton just pounding the ball, air out of the ball, Mike. They might have to put more air in the ball at the halftime. And then they get Garrett Giles with a hand check 40 feet from the basket after a minute and a half goes by with nothing. It seems like Garrett Giles has a target on his back. That's his 3rd foul of the ball game, Mike.
That's not good at all. That's a frustration foul right there.
And in a game that has a lot of contact, I'm just not sure why that's the one you decide to enforce. He missed the free throw. He has one more. Ethan James quickly checks back into the ball game. Ethan's out there with Shamar Green, Malik Howard, Charlie Taubenheim, and Raekwon Watson, who checked in for Giles a moment ago. Oak Ridge, still a pretty big lineup out there. 3 guys, 6'4" and above. Here comes Ethan James. Looks left. He finds Taubenheim. Wide open 3. Off the mark. No good. It was a little bit short. Eisen comes out of there with it. Passes it to Nelson. And here come the Dragons. Racing across the half-court stripe into the lane. Getting a kick. It's stripped away by Shamar Green. Shamar gets it ahead to Watson. Watson thought about passing it to Ethan James, who's a sliver of an opening, but I think it was probably the wise decision to back this one out and set up something better. 19-13, the Wildcats in the lead. 48 seconds to go in the first quarter. Taubenheim underneath Raekwon. No, he gets it off the backboard to Shamar Green. Shamar misses the shot, but Ethan James, the smallest guy on the court for Oak Ridge, besides Raekwon, gets that rebound and kind of in the air decided to play volleyball and tip it back up. And as he tipped it, the shot was no good, but he was hammered, so he'll go to the line for 2. Mike, this seems like a whirlwind of a first quarter. It seems like we should be nearing halftime. We've still got 41 seconds left before the quarter's over.
I know. Not a whole lot of timeouts in this game so far. It's just the clock is ran continuously.
James' first shot at the line was good. His second is good as well. Mike, Oak Ridge has a student section about 2 to 3 times the size of Clinton's, yet they've made almost no noise. A little bit frustrating, I'm sure, if you're an Oak Ridge fan in the building. Not really sure why. They got their pizza, but they're not talking. Here comes Clinton. Maddox short off the front rim, and here comes Watson with it. Raekwon, he had Charlie Taubenheim momentarily, I thought, but decides to keep it himself. Passes it to James. He's going to drive baseline right side. Layup, off the mark, no good. Shamar Green and Malik Howard battling for it, and they're going to get Malik. Or, no, it's going to be Shamar Green with the hold. I think that's probably the right call. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, that foul occurs 90 feet from the basket, and it's a non-shooting foul that results in 2 free throws because the Wildcats are over the limit. Clinton has 4 fouls, so the next time they commit a foul before the quarter ends, if they do, Oak Ridge will be shooting. Clinton's first shot is good from Jackson Alcorn. The 6'3 sophomore hits the first of the pair. 15.1 seconds to go. Clinton with the ball, pinning the second free throw. They trail 21-14. Now they've got 15. Oak Ridge inbounds the ball to Watson. Coach Green is sitting down on the bench after that early technical. Coach Green stands up momentarily to bark some signals. 8 seconds. Raekwon drives right side. Blocking call should have been called. It wasn't. And Clinton gets a block, saves. He's from 3/4 court. Nearly got it to go, and it didn't. Coach Lockard fired up. Coach Green a little more hushed after he was given a technical foul earlier. It's 21-15 the score as we head to the second quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Something I know a little better than chemical engineering, Wildcat basketball, and I know one thing, they're up right now, 21-15, 5 seconds into the second quarter. Clinton gets the ball to start. It's going to be nearly kicked away by Ethan James. Into the corner it goes for Clinton. Now up top, Richardson walked with it, no call. Clinton retains possession. Inside it goes. Momentarily, it's stolen away. Here comes Malik Howard. Thought he had a chance at a dunk, but a nice acrobatic play as he dodged a defender in midair, scoops the layup, and it's good. Oak Ridge's lead back up to 8. Nelson races back the other way for Clinton. It's Malik Howard's first points of the season as working his way back in from the football season. Oak Ridge in a zone right now, and I think they're having to do that because of the foul trouble early on with Garrett Giles, etc. Cooper Williams got 2. He's on the bench. Garrett Giles has 3. He's on the bench. Scroll around for it, a scrum. Here comes Malik Howard, 1-on-2. He's going to go up strong, take the contact. Shot was no good. 2 Dragons left behind. Malik Howard will strut his way to the free throw line. The Wildcats up 23-15, and unfortunately for Clinton, one of their players is shaken up. I think he took a hard spill. Let's take a quick 30-second timeout. When we come back, Malik Howard will shoot free throws. As we're paused momentarily, unfortunately, there's a Clinton player on the ground. Hopefully he's going to be okay. I think Malik Howard, there was a collision there. That's a big body to collide into. Mike, who leads the Wildcats in scoring here early on as Oak Ridge leads 23-15? 7:06 to play in the second quarter. Who leads the Wildcats in scoring?
Well, it's really pretty even, actually. Ethan James has got 3. Garrett Giles has got 5. Malik Howard's got 2. Raekwon Watson has 3. Charlie Tenenbaum has 4. And Cooper Williams has 5.
Thank you, Mike. Thankfully, the Clinton player seems to be okay, at least all right, as he walks a little bit gimpy, but he does make his way under his own power back to the bench, and they're still working and looking at him. Hopefully he'll be able to get back in there soon as Malik Howard goes to the free throw line. Howard in there alongside Shamar Green, Charlie Taubenheim, Ethan James, and Raekwon Watson. Again, Oak Ridge leading 23-15, 7:06 to go here in the second quarter. Howard's first free throw, flips it up, nestles it in. Howard just a really, really big body, and he's got the body of like a 28-year-old man, and somehow he's just a sophomore. You can see why he's such a highly coveted recruit on the football field, because he's probably still got room to grow into that body. Just a sophomore. He makes the first and second free throws and gives Oak Ridge their largest lead of the game. It's up to 10, 25-15, 6:53 to go here in the second quarter. Clinton picks up their dribble. They're in trouble. They give it to Eisen up top, closely guarded by Malik Howard. Eisen, here's a mismatch. He tries to go in against Howard. Wow, he gets it to go. I don't know how he got that shot to go, but hats off to Eisen, as that was a tough shot, and he made it. Here comes Oak Ridge the other way. Up top, Malik Howard fumbles the ball momentarily. He's going to drive against Eisen. His shot is up, no good. Nice defense from Eisen. I like the aggressive play by Howard, though, and Clinton comes out of there with it, trailing by 8, 6:26 to go in the second quarter. Here comes Maddox at the top of the key, trying to break down James to no avail. James plays nice defense, forces a miss, and here comes Oak Ridge with a rebound. It's Watson. Watson going to drive inside, spin, turn, churn. The ball was knocked away, and it hit Raekwon's foot on the strip, and it's kind of an odd call, but it is the right call. As who does Oak Ridge sub in? Malik Howard goes out, and Cooper Williams with 2 fouls comes back into the game. He's got to be careful. You don't want him and Garrett having 3. Here comes a quick turnover off the press. Shamar Green tries to force some contact, no call, but his shot is good, and it's 27-17, a 10-point lead again for the Wildcats. Here comes the ball tipped out of bounds. Ethan James, boy, he's got some active hands. Ethan, not the tallest guy on the team, but he's playing really big right now defensively.
And he's got super quick hands that time, Alex. He just smacked that ball right away from him, and then he tipped it, and it went out of bounds. So the Dragons have the ball.
Oak Ridge, just the body language, they just look so confident, so ready and prepared, always under Coach Green. And they look just the same today. Here comes a double, Cooper Williams and Raekwon Watson guarding Nelson. Nelson's going to jack a shot up anyways, off the rim, no good. Charlie Taubenheim with a nice rebound. Thing about Charlie is he's a post, but he can take it all the way. He's going to go coast to host. Euro step, layup, no good. There's a collision. Who has the ball? Charlie's got it. He gives it to Cooper, who is hacked right in the head and they're just going to call a normal foul. So Cooper Williams will go to the line. The official nicely checks on Cooper. He shakes his head that he's all right, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2. No love lost in these 2 games, Arzar.
Definitely not. Things are getting really rough down below where the big guys are.
Cooper Williams, first shot off the left rim, bounces out, no good. 5 on the court for Oak Ridge: Ethan James, Charlie Taubenheim, Raekwon Watson, and Shamar Green, alongside the shooter at the free throw line, awaiting his second attempt, Cooper Williams. Cooper with 2 fouls. Garrett Giles, if you've just tuned in on prepradio.com, he's been allocated to the bench basically because he's got 3 fouls. He picked up a charge early and then 2 quick fouls in the first quarter, and I don't think he's played at all in the second. Here comes Isaiah. Oh, thought he got away with the walk there, as Clinton's going to take it in, get the ball stripped away momentarily, and Oak Ridge does get the turnover. Cooper Williams with it. Raekwon Watson. Raekwon going to take all the way to the right side. He gets some contact, and there's no call. There's a lot of contact, but no call.
I don't understand that. I mean, he had a direct line to the basket, and they fouled him. There was no foul call. All they called was that Clinton knocked the ball out of bounds, so Oak Ridge will get the ball underneath their own goal.
Clinton makes a quick substitution. Isaiah Williams back out, and here comes Oak Ridge. Inside, Cooper Williams nestles it in, the finger roll layup. Great pass by Raekwon, great body position and footwork to finish that off by Cooper Williams. 30-17 to score, Oak Ridge in the lead, 4:51 to go here in the second. Clinton with it, working right to left as we see it from the top of the Wildcat Arena in the press box. Clinton, the Dragons, working towards the Oak Ridge student section, who now a few more of them are standing. Clinton really having trouble getting anything. Oak Ridge's length, I think, Mike, really bothering them right now. Here comes Maddox, great football player, playing some basketball tonight. Tosses it up, no good. Shamar Green gets hit but comes down with the rebound regardless. Here comes the pass to Cooper Williams. Williams hands it off left side to Raekwon Watson. Watson drives baseline, looking to pass, finds Taubenheim up top of the key. Good. Shoot the arrow, young man. That's your second 3 of the night. And Charlie Taubenheim extends this Oak Ridge lead to 16 with 4:11 to go in the first half. Oak Ridge up 33-17. Full court press has been problematic for these Dragons, and I think that's off of Clinton. There was a long inbound pass. What say the officials? They say it's Clinton ball. A lot of Oak Ridge fans didn't agree with that, but that's what you would expect from the home crowd. And the biggest cheer from Clinton's student section in a while goes after they don't turn it over. Telling. As the Wildcats defensively have just been incredible tonight. Both Lady Wildcats as well in their game earlier. Defense was really the difference in that ball game. Lady Dragons put up a good fight, but the Lady Wildcats just too much for them. The boys won in the JV earlier. Wildcats looking to complete a clean sweep if the boys varsity can finish off the Clinton Dragons here tonight. They're up 33-17. 3:48 to go here in the second quarter. Tough layup from Maddox over Cooper Williams, and Charlie Taubenheim is good on the left side. Here comes Raekwon Watson. He's going to stop and pop a 3 from the left elbow. No good, and Nelson comes out of there with it for Clinton. He's going to pass ahead. He's got a Richardson wide open in the left corner. 3, no ball, no good. And here comes Shamar Green. Shamar playing a little more physical so far this year than we're used to seeing, and I like that from him because he's a big body down low. And they need him. Here comes another big body down low, Cooper Williams, and it's just playing pitch and catch down low, Mike. If you can't give Cooper Williams the ball within 2 feet of the basket and expect him not to score, here comes another steal. Shamar Green, layup, good. Clinton needs a timeout.
Yeah, 4 points in a row, and they hadn't even taken the ball back up the court yet, being the Clinton Dragons. The Wildcats pulling away now, 37-19.
There may have been a foul, but it wasn't a block. The official called a block. Nope. It might have been a reach, but it wasn't a block. But regardless, the foul is called on Raekwon Watson. So the 5 now after some subs into the ballgame for Oak Ridge. Cooper Williams, Charlie Taubenheim, Malik Howard, Ethan James, and Raekwon Watson. Isaiah Williams into the ballgame for Clinton. I want to give a shout out to his parents. They are prominent members in the Oak Ridge community. They help lead the Ridge Church, and they do a lot of good things. And they're on the Clinton side tonight, but I wanted to say that that's a really nice young man, raised well, and again, parents are couple of people that do a lot of good for this community. Here's Clinton on the other end. Nelson with it now to Maddox on the left side. His shot off the front rim, no good, but Williams comes out with the rebound, gives it to Richardson right side, give Williams the assist, give Richardson the tray ball. 37-22 after Clinton hits the three, 2:20 to go in the second quarter. Watson comes back in, Cooper Williams hammered, shot is up, no good, and Williams is going to go to the line for two. They really have no option but to foul Cooper down low. I thought they were going to call a technical. They are. Number 5, Tristan Lundy, kind of slammed the ball in frustration, and they call a technical foul. So they back everyone off. But Mike, that's just a little bit of a frustration. They have no answer for Oak Ridge's size down low.
Oh, there was no doubt he was frustrated. But when he slammed that ball down, I wonder if they were going to call it. There was a pretty good delay there, but it was called a technical.
I think that's the confusion. That was certainly on my part. The delay was what kind of threw me off. First free throw, shockingly no good from Cooper Williams, who's been pretty good at the free throw line thus far. Oak Ridge leading by 15, 37-22, 2:16 to play in the second quarter. Williams' second free throw is up, good. Now he should get another free throw, because it's a technical foul. So those 2 free throws were for the shooting foul where they hacked him underneath. So now he'll get an additional free throw. Shooting towards the goal that faces the parking lot. Here's Cooper Williams, money. So now he gets another free throw. So I guess Techs are automatic 2 free throws right here. As Williams to the line, can he go 3 out of 4? He does. Oak Ridge's biggest lead of the ballgame, 18. It's 40-22, 2:16 to play. And guess what? Oak Ridge gets the ball back after this timeout. Welcome back to Wildcat Arena. Unsurprisingly, Dallas Frent is very active amongst the crowd and fans tonight. Dallas Frent, not a big fan of the Clinton Dragons, I don't think. And his playing days may be over, Mike. He was once a member of this basketball team. You can't, whether he's in uniform or not, Dallas Frent is going to bring the energy.
Yeah, he's a really raw type guy. I like Dallas Frent.
Another thing you like, I'm sure, the Wildcats' big lead in this first half. 40-22 the score, 2:16 to play before the second quarter concludes. Raekwon Watson, left side elbow to James. Ethan James gives it up top to Garrett Giles. He's got to be careful. He's playing with 3 fouls. Inside it goes to Cooper Williams. They try to kind of do a loop around pass to Malik Howard, and it was batted out of bounds. Somehow they're going to say Oak Ridge touched it last. Scary fall for Nelson there, but thankfully he looks like he's all right as the Dragons take over possession. Dallas Frent will be doing some color commentary here on Prep Radio on Friday. David Clary tells me that one of the officials is not having a good night. He said that I could say that he said it, but I'll leave the name and I'll leave it up to your imagination. If you really want me to, David, I'll do it. But far be it from Prep Radio to have criticized officials, as Nelson's going to jack up a strange-looking shot. Cooper Williams comes down in there with it. Here comes Malik Howard, left side, spins on Williams, turns, and lays it in. Beautiful footwork there. Malik Howard kind of grins and gives a couple teammates high fives. Oak Ridge playing a 2-3 zone, a very extended 2-3 zone. Why, you may ask? They're trying to avoid fouling, and even then they don't. Malik just ran into a guy, and he kind of did an acting job. And again, Malik, even if he doesn't mean to, he's so big that if he kind of bumps into somebody, the official's going to probably believe it, even if it's a flop.
Yeah, I don't think it was a flop to be. From the way I saw it, it was just downright. He pushed him down.
As there's some discussion with the officials. I'm not sure what the discussion would be. Shmar Green trying to check in. They finally let him, so he's going to come in for James. So now you have all the starters except for Charlie Taubenheim in. Malik Howard, the lone non-starter, playing right now, but he's very capable in his own right. Here comes Isaiah Williams, a 3, and he's got something to say to Will Presley sitting over on the sideline. probably know each other from their Clinton backgrounds. Malik Howard airballs a three, but Cooper Williams saves it, gives it right back to Howard. Howard throws an errant pass, and Shamar Green's going to get called for diving into the legs of Camden Nelson. So Nelson absorbs the contact, and Oak Ridge gets the foul. So that's 2 quick fouls for the Wildcats, and that's 2 fouls on Shamar Green. So 3 of Oak Ridge's big players are in early foul trouble. Here comes Ethan James, Shamar Green coming out, Malik Howard coming out, Charlie Taubenheim, Cooper Williams, Garrett Giles, Raekwon Watson, and Ethan James, the 5 on the court in Cardinal and White. 52 seconds to play here in the first half. Clinton with it, trailing 42-25. Maddox sizing up James, and he dribbles it out of bounds nearly. Here comes James with a spin, takes some contact, great pass ahead, but the play is going to be halted as James was hammered to the ground. What an athletic play, what effort from Ethan James.
Ethan James is very impressive with a basketball. He could really handle that very well. And he had a breakaway, but they called it back because he got fouled.
You know, Oak Ridge, if you haven't seen them play this year, when Malik Howard was not with the team, they've got a player, number 14, Eli Peters, a freshman. You can try to foul out their size, but the problem is Oak Ridge just got a plethora of big men. A 6'5" freshman is Eli Peters. He played in that JV game earlier, has not played in this one, but is on the bench and dressed out. Cooper Williams off the free throw miss, gets it, kicks it out to Watson. Watson finds Giles. Wide open three on the corner. Good. Elbow corner for Garrett Giles. Clinton racing back the other way. A long pass corralled by Richardson. Richardson gets it back up top to Nelson with 26 seconds to play. Dallas Sprint, Will Presley, Mikey Teasley, the baseball player over there, urging on the student section to make some noise. Williams with it. Back up top, nearly back court as Maddox has it. Maddox gives it to Nelson. 11 seconds on the clock. Raekwon Watson, pressure near midcourt. Clinton trying to do anything right now. Maddox kicks it off to Williams. Left corner three, no good. Raekwon gets it with 3 seconds. 2 seconds, can he launch it? He does. No good. And that's the half. 20-point lead for your Wildcats. It's 45-25. And what was an exciting half of basketball here from Oak Ridge High School. Again, 40. Take a 60-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have third quarter action from the Wildcat Arena. Welcome back to the Wildcat Arena. Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan with you tonight. Alongside me is Titus Fetters doing top camera, and on the ground camera we've got Grayson Brown. Appreciate both of them helping. Appreciate David Clary executively producing tonight's ball game in the absence of Mark and Shauna Haste. He is graciously passed the mic over to myself and Mike for a couple of hours and taking the night off, and he's not taking the night off, he's working, but he's helping to produce the show. So we appreciate all them. Titus, your thoughts on the first half?
Pretty good. We just got to keep up the hard work, keep on putting up points, and we'll come out with the win.
Titus, a member of the Oak Ridge baseball season who, believe it or not, their season will be starting before too awfully long. He was telling me about practice earlier today. Raekwon Watson on the first possession puts it up. I don't think he used the glass, and maybe he should have. That was off the mark. Clinton on their first possession. Here's Nelson sizing up Charlie Taubenheim. Size mismatch there. Charlie much bigger. He's going to pass it off, though. Driving against Cooper Williams now. Cooper might have got away with a bump there. And Clinton just kind of having no success on this opening possession so far. Jackson Alcorn drives, stops, pops off the mark, no good. But here comes the rebound to Nelson for the Dragons. Nelson, inside it goes. And he's going to turn around and put the ball in. That's Tegan Bollinger. Actually, that was Hayden, Braylon Hayden. That's the guy who confused me earlier. I thought I saw a 10. I must have made up the 1. So the player who was number 10 is not number 1. He is number 0. Apologies, Mike, and everyone listening. And Mr. Hayden. Here comes Cooper Williams, double team. The ball's going to be stripped away, and Cooper knows it. Instead of going for the ball, he just kind of reached and just grabbed Jersey. So I don't know if it was frustration or just kind of a misaim there, but Cooper picks up his third foul of the ball game less than a minute into this third quarter. Raekwon Watson, some token man-to-man pressure in the backcourt. The rest of the Wildcats were back into the front court. 5-second count is on. Nelson wisely gives the ball away. best football player for Clinton this year. Maddox has the ball, throws it back up top to Hayden. Hayden passes it over to a teammate who's going to drive against Cooper. Great defense from Williams and forces a miss. Here comes Garrett Giles with 3 fouls. He's going to take it towards the bucket, get tripped, no call. And here come the Dragons. They've got numbers if they want it. Nelson decides to stop, throw a long pass to Richardson, who's going to launch a 3 from the left corner. Air ball. And Raekwon gets the rebound, but it's poked away. And here comes Alcorn with it. Alcorn gives it to Maddox. Maddox over to Hayden, and Hayden finishes a layup. And they're getting close to the 30-point mark here. Trailing Oak Ridge 35-29 is Clinton. Williams inside. Why not go back to that? You know it works. It's good as gold. Williams gets the bucket, and Oak Ridge quickly calls a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Mike, Oak Ridge, when they get into some trouble, they just go back to Old Faithful, what they know is going to work, and that's getting the ball inside and using their size.
That's exactly right, and it worries me that our big men down low, Garrett Giles and Cooper Williams, both have 3 fouls. They're both the leading scorers of this game so far for the Wildcats. We desperately need those players to stay in the game.
47-29 the score. Wildcats leading this one as they have for the entire ball game. This one has not really been back and forth like the girls' game. Remind you that the boys' JV won earlier, 58-39. The girls won 63-48. And the boys are on top again, 47-29 as we're underway in the third quarter. 2 minutes into it, 6 minutes left in the third. Some of the Wildcat fans, I see Ronnie Hayes. Really nice to see Ronnie and Becky Hayes at the game tonight. And looks like they might be leaving. Looks like some folks left at halftime, and I don't blame them. I guess it's a rivalry game, but this one looks not that competitive. Ball is nearly tipped in the backcourt, but the Dragons recover it. And Garrett Giles is going to get off the ball foul. Just tough ball game for Garrett. He was trying to run through a screen and I guess did run through it, and they're going to call a foul. So Garrett Giles, it's really hard to get into a rhythm, Mike, if you're getting a foul every 2 to 3 minutes.
I know, that's a terrible thing. And now he's got 4. He's heading back to the sit on the bench.
And two of those I think have been off the ball. One of them was a charge. So it's not even like he's necessarily really earning these. Coach Lockard wants a timeout as their players slipped and they were about to get called for a travel. So Oak Ridge wanted a walk, and they're going to say Coach Lockard called a travel or a call to timeout before the travel. So Oak Ridge has 3 timeouts left. So does Clinton. Oak Ridge has the lead 47-29, the same amount they led by at halftime. With 5:31 to go, we're going to take a 30-second timeout and come back with more Thord Curdor action. Welcome back to Oak Ridge High School. Wildcats ahead big in this one in the third quarter. Appreciate you listening on prepradio.com. As here comes a quick turnover. Ethan James, 2-on-1, gives it up to Raekwon Watson. Clinton wanted a walk. His pivot foot never left the ground, although it was close, and missed the shot, though, on the other end. Here comes Clinton the other way. Cooper Williams needs to be careful, nearly picks up a foul, forces an air ball, but Clinton's there for the rebound. There was an errant air ball shot, but Jackson Alcorn, the 6'3 sophomore, kind of almost treated it like an alley-oop. He just went up, got it, and floated it back in. Tobenheim's pass tipped away on the other end as he tried to skip past the James in the corner for a 3, but his pass, again, was batted out of bounds, and so Oak Ridge will retain possession underneath the Dragon goal. Actually, sideline inbound here, right at the end of the Oak Ridge bench in the front court. James passes it into Watson. No real pressure on the inbound. Here comes Tobenheim, right elbow. Tobenheim looking inside to James. No, he finds Shamar Green. Green through contact, layup, good. Just too big. He's just too big down in there, and Clinton does not have an answer. I don't think Oak Ridge really has to take another jump shot the rest of the game if they didn't want to, because Clinton has no answers inside. 49-31 the score. Oak Ridge up, 4:37 to go here in the third quarter. Here comes Braylon. His shot was no good. He drove right side, hit it high off the glass, but it was way too strong, but he was fouled. So Braylon Hayden, 6'6 junior, goes to the line for the Dragons. Oak Ridge with 3 team fouls this quarter. Clinton with none. Oak Ridge coach Aaron Green was given a technical early in the game. Lockard was given a warning. His first free throw was off, second free throw was good. And so Clinton has a chance to set up their full court press. Cooper Williams throws it into Raekwon Watson, 3/4 court. Cooper passes it ahead across the midcourt stripe to James. James going to take it in against some contact, but there was a nice defensive play, and they block the shot. So Clinton comes back the other way. Nelson with it, matched up against Shmar Green. This guy keeps getting matched up with much taller defenders. That time he turns the ball over. Here comes Taubenheim. Tripped, no call. Nice pass right side to Watson. Good. It's a picture-perfect running of the fast break there. Unselfish play by Taubenheim led to a bucket from Raekwon Watson, and here comes an anticipation foul called by the same official who's been boisterous tonight. Cooper Williams, there's his 4th foul. So Garrett Giles and Cooper Williams both with 4 fouls tonight, and we're not even halfway through the third quarter. Both of them had 3 at half. What happened? Was it an elbow?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Arena. During our technical difficulties, Ethan James caught, I guess, a flying elbow. There was no technical foul called. There are some lip reading going on if I'm looking at the Clinton student section right now, and they're jawing back and forth with the Oak Ridge students, as one might expect. In a game that has been at times overly tight officiated and giving out technical fouls, none was called then. And we about had a dangerous situation as it was a violent play. I'm not saying it was intentional, but the act itself was not Ethan James hit the deck. I mean, I'm not saying it was intentional. It may not have been, but Ethan James hit the deck, and several of those football players and other sports players that are very passionate and emotional and that the rivalry runs deep for, they kind of stepped up, and thankfully things got under control before anybody really went too far out into the court. But a very dangerous situation, and the most important part is that it looks like Ethan James is okay, and he handled that well. As Oak Ridge, a couple of students, they got to be careful here as the police are kind of warning them, hey, stay back. Coach Hawkins, Coach Gaddis going over to some of the students now. I know Coach Gaddis, there's no love lost between him and Clinton, but even he's like, okay, guys, we got to be smart here. Let's take a quick 30-second timeout. Hopefully when we come back, we'll have a little resolution from whatever's going on right now during the break. Again, your score, 53-33, Wildcats up by 20 late in the third. Welcome back to Oak Ridge High School. An Oak Ridge player catches an elbow to the face, and it's Chris Lockard, who's irate over something, and he gets a technical. I'm not sure what could have happened where he got upset. And Chris Lockard is now shoving a Clinton fan, and he is doing Chris Lockard things on the sideline, Mike Sheehan.
I tell you, there's a lot of upset people out here. We've got a lot of police presence.
You've got to love it when people act like the tough guy when there's five guys between them and who they're trying to get to. I love when people act more aggressive when there's people between them than they did before. Chris Lockard, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be escorted out of the Wildcat Arena. And now we've got more of a discussion. David Clary, you always pass me the mic on nights that are far from boring. I appreciate that. Although, I'm not going to lie, I would love to hear your commentary on something like this happening in a Clinton game. I'm sure it would be entertaining. So, they now have thrown Lockard out again. He got a technical, and they have officially thrown him out. Chris Lockard, ladies and gentlemen, has made quite the spectacle. And I don't know what happened, Mike. Perhaps there's a reason he's mad. All I know is an Oak Ridge player hit the deck. We had this long pause, and then out of nowhere, he starts going off on the officiating crew. Perhaps something was said to him. Perhaps it was moved up to a technical. I'm not sure what happened. All I know is what we saw, which was Chris Lockard reacting, and he's not happy. But he's supposed to be leaving the court, and he's not. He's still jawing. And now with 4 police officers on the floor, will they escort him? He's got – David Clary, I'll do this for you. I'm going to stand up and say, see ya, Chris Lockard. Listen to the crowd. Perhaps for the last time in Wildcat Arena, Chris Lockard exits as he has so many times, trailing the Wildcats. Still 3 minutes to go in this halftime, or in this third quarter. And if you left at halftime, folks, you mixed some fireworks. 53-33. The score. Again, I think hindsight's 20/20, Mike Sheehan, but I think a lot of these problems could have been solved if this officiating crew would have just made the call, got Ethan James off the court, and then gone on with the game. But what happened was there was about a 5-minute pause where all that was going on was students and fans chirping at one another, cops kind of having to shovel people back, and tensions were boiling. I believe if the game had just been resumed, the distractions would have been over and people would have moved on. Instead, for whatever reason, this crew kept the delay on, and that delay has now extended. We are probably approaching 10 minutes with no basketball, and the crowds are still chirping. This officiating crew, despite their best efforts, has totally lost control of this game.
Yes, they have. They're having a huge conference with themselves, the three officials, at midcourt. But I think we're getting ready to have basketball again. 3:01 left here in the third quarter. Wildcats up 20.
Tony Tito, I'm not sure how to say, but this official, somebody on this staff needs to take control. Finally, we are going to send Garrett Giles to the free throw line. The question is for how many shots? We know that 2 technicals were given to Chris Lockard. I'm not sure if there was a technical assessed on the initial contact that started this whole mess, but I do know that Garrett's first free throw was missed. Garrett's second free throw, drained. So he takes 2 technical fouls. Now, I'm not sure how you have 2 technical fouls and only 2 shots, but okay. So finally, Vitito gets this game back underway. Nearing 9 o'clock on the Eastern time zone, this is the game that just won't end. If you're a Clinton fan, you hope it does end sooner rather than later. So Malik Howard extends the Oak Ridge lead to 23. 56-33 the score, 2:41 to play. Nelson being ridden all the way down court. That's going to be a blocking foul correctly called and assessed on Raekwon Watson. Oak Ridge has fouled 5 times, so Clinton will go to the line for the double bonus, which I guess, Mike, we should just call a bonus since there's no such thing as a double bonus if every bonus is the same.
Now Raekwon Watson has 3 as Camden Nelson will shoot a free throw.
First free throw up and no good. It rattles out. Second one upcoming for Nelson, up and no good as well. So he misses both free throws. Here comes Shamar Green with the rebound up to Watson. Watson, left side, Garrett Giles, open 3 from his wide stance, drilled. His third 3 of the ball game, well into double figures now. Nelson nearly got away with the travel. He's going to kick out to Richardson, drains a 3 of his own. And now we've got fans pointing, well, I don't want to say it, but doing fan things that they shouldn't be doing at high school games after that made 3. Here comes Watson. Screen, sets up Charlie Hobbentime up top. Runs off a Malik Howard screen, little 5-foot floater, good. It's a pro move right there from Charlie Taubenheim. Puts the Wildcats up 61-36 with 1:56 to go in the third quarter. Here's Richardson, right side. Up top it goes to Alcorn. Alcorn inside, Euro step. Floater, no good. Rebound off, and who is it off on? It's going to be off on the Dragons. It's a shame, and one aspect, as angry as these fans are against each other, Mike, it's a shame in a way as Raekwon Watson just loads up on a 3, no good. Howard gets the rebound. He puts it back up, no good, and Clinton gets the rebound. This game really probably doesn't happen going forward very much. Not in the same district. It doesn't have the same meaning. We'll see if they decide to continue the series as Clinton gets a bucket underneath. But Mike, it's kind of Just a weird deal to think that these two teams won't be battling it out in district play as Raekwon Watson gets the layup to go.
I wish we had another chance to play them again, and it's not going to happen. Raekwon Watson scores 2 for the Wildcats.
Nelson with a fancy layup of his own. And a couple of layups. Back and forth we go here in the third quarter. Raekwon Watson fires a 3, short, no good. Rebound goes out. Who's going to get on it? Clinton hustles for it. They get it. It's Ison. Ison carried the ball, no call. He's going to drive against Watson. Nowhere to go with it. Scoop shot, no good. Shamar Green with the rebound. 47 seconds to go as Shamar Green is tossed to the floor, no call. And here comes Watson with it into the front court. Driving, left side layup, open, it's good. Watson's speed too much to handle right there, and quickly Clinton goes back the other way. We've got a track meet. Not a lot of defense being played right now. Both teams just shooting layups at will. This is starting to look like an all-star game.
Yeah, good ball handling by both teams to get the ball inside and get easy layups.
Watson says to calm things and slow things down. That he'll do. 15 seconds to play in the third quarter. Wildcats leading 64-42 in a game that has seen Coach Green get a technical foul and Coach Lockard get a technical foul, a second technical foul, and then ejected. Oak Ridge Shamar Green, I think it was, stepped on the line out of bounds. So with 6 seconds to go, Clinton inbounds it into Nelson. 5, he's across half court. 4, 3, loses the ball, going to have to heave a nearly half-court shot up. Good! He drained it. So Clinton gets a little spark in the third quarter. It's 65-45 as we come back to the fourth quarter. Stay tuned. You never know what you're going to miss if you don't. So as Oak Ridge's cheerleaders were honored between quarters, there were some boo birds in the building. No love lost between either of these two fan bases. A lot of cops, a lot of law enforcement in this building, and you understand why after the night we've had. Ison gets it into the front court. Here it goes to Alcorn. Alcorn driving, shoving, and it's swatted away by Shamar Green. It's going to be a tie-up in the backcourt from Garrett Giles, and Garrett's not going to back down. Neither is Richardson. Garrett's like, we're good, play on. The crowd likes the physicality, Mike.
Yeah, they do. They're getting really chippy, if you will.
This is a game that should long since be over, but this officiating crew has let this one get out of hand. And so we're still playing. Giles inside, kicks it out to three-point range. Here comes Taubenheim. Good. His fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Taubenheim from deep. 68-45, the Wildcats lead. 7:26 to go in the fourth and final interminable quarter of play. Still, Oak Ridge's Charlie Taubenheim was going to break away and slam one, and the crowd would have erupted, but they're going to call, I think the right call, a reach-in foul before that happened. Taubenheim out there with Howard, James, Ethan James, Garrett Giles, and Shamar Green. Here comes Alcorn, gives it to Ison. He's going to ISO, shoot a long range two. That's way short, no good. Shamar Green comes out of there with it. Oak Ridge has numbers if they decide to push. They will. Malik Howard all alone. Left side, tried to slam it. A great block from Clinton, denies it. Nice play from Clinton. Here comes a long three. Here's Nelson, left elbow, in and out, no good. And Ison comes out of there with it. He's got to get it to somebody. He gets it to Nelson. Nelson gives it underneath. His shot's blocked away by Shamar Green. Taubenheim with it. Up court to James. James takes the contact, makes the bucket. Here comes the and one. Ethan James doing a little jawing now. Richardson didn't like that. Coach Green wants to stop that immediately. The officials go ahead and blow the subs in since it's only a one free throw opportunity. Malik Howard comes out. In comes Cooper Williams. (72-45). The Wildcats on top. 6:36 to go as James completes the old-fashioned three-point play after the foul. Well, they just changed the score. They took one away. I think it should be 73-45, but we'll see if they adjust that or maybe they jumped the gun and added an extra point. I think it's 71-45 now as Clinton gets a bucket on the other end. 6:28 to play in the fourth. Giles across half court, working right to left as we see it here. Taubenheim thought about a three. He's going to drive baseline. He's going to go for the slam. He doesn't get the slam, but he does get the contact, and he gets the layup to go on the left side. Charlie Taubenheim, the growth and maturity that we've seen in his play since last year has been remarkable.
Has been. He's very impressive tonight for the Wildcats.
Mar Green, speaking of aggressive, his third block in this quarter alone. Here comes Giles. Giles, hesitation, behind the back dribble, goes up through contact, fouled, and he'll go to the line. Giles, I'm sure, a player who's very frustrated. Not only do you have the emotions of this game, but the fact that he's really not been able to get on track because of foul trouble early.
Yeah, now he's got 4 fouls, but he's still being extremely aggressive. His first free throw up. Good.
He'll have one more. It's 74-47. 5:56 to play in a game that Oak Ridge has dominated. Emotions boiled over earlier. I'm sure we'll ask Coach Green about that, and we don't want to get him in trouble, so we might not ask his thoughts on the officiating, although if we did, it would be quite the rhetorical question. Here comes Clinton after both free throws were made by Garrett, and they're going to try to drive right side to no avail. Alcorn with it, right elbow. Going to go off a screen, try to get it to Eisen. No. He gets it to Hayden. Hayden, there's going to be a timeout. I'm not sure what happened. I think Garrett might be bleeding. I'm not sure, but they're going to stop play and sub in Malik Howard for Garrett Giles. So I think, I'm not sure. Maybe he's going to the locker room, so I'm guessing they're going to have him wash something off. You know, you don't think about Brian Leffler and the trainers that often until you don't have them here. I guess Brian has the night off, and all of a sudden you need them. It's a good reminder of how important those folks are. And shout out to the Clinton trainer, I think assisted Ethan James earlier when he was hurt.
Exactly right. That's exactly what happened. That's just good sportsmanship.
A rare sight tonight as Clinton's going to work it underneath, and there's going to be a foul called. I think Cooper, unfortunately, just too tall, and as he went straight up for a rebound, the smaller defender kind of moved away, and I don't really think that was a foul, but sometimes as big men, if there's any contact at all, they're just going to falter and say, hey, it's your fault for being big. Inadvertent whistle. Okay. So I think, although the whistle shouldn't have been blown, they do get it right in the end by saying no call. So Cooper Williams passes it into James. 5:12 to go in the fourth. Oak Ridge up 75-47. Off the screen up top comes Charlie Taubenheim. Look for Cooper down low. They've got it. Left block. Turns middle. In and out. No good. Gets his own rebound to go. And he's fouled. Coop. The Coop is loose tonight at the Wildcat Arena. Mike Sheehan, how many points does that man have? We've got 2 or 3 guys that have a bunch of points leading the way for the Wildcats, but Cooper Williams has been consistent start to finish.
He's got 17 right now.
Looking for another. At the line as Oak Ridge has 30-pieced Clinton at this point. Now it's more. 31-point lead for Oak Ridge, 78-47, 5:02 to play in this game that we all just hope can end without too many more fireworks. Clinton gets a layup up, no good. Cooper Williams with a rebound. He's going to take it himself. He's going to find Ethan James in the backcourt, rather. He brings it across the midcourt line, and Coach Green and staff signaling plays. Let's see what they do here. They're going to get it on the right side to Taubenheim. Inside it goes to Green. James with the screen action. They try to get it inside. They flip it to James. His shot was off the mark, no good, and now another foul, 92 feet away from the basket. Malik Howard got tangled up. He's trying to move his hands away. He wasn't going for the ball, but now they're going to start calling things close, I guess, at this point, as the freshman Eli Pierce comes into the ballgame.
Yeah, it's really been a tightly emotional game, if you will, for the Clinton Dragons and the Oak Ridge Wildcats. They really play each other extremely hard.
And Clinton attacks the freshman as Alcorn scores. Eli Peters, I called him Pierce Peters. I knew that. Is into the ball game. Peters is in there with Cooper Williams, Malik Howard, Shamar Green, and Ethan James. James launches one. It's no good. And here comes Nelson and Clinton. Nelson at the top of the key finds Eisen. Eisen thought about a 3 over James. He's going to launch one now. Nailed it. Eisen is kind of a calm player out there. He's had a pretty good ball game, pretty nice ball game for himself tonight, but the Clinton Dragons trail big here late. Here comes Howard, free throw line jumper, good. High release, you're not going to block that shot, and he had room to get that one off. 80-52 the score, 3:39 to go in the fourth quarter. Clinton wants a timeout. Who called it? I'm not sure, because Coach Lockard is no longer on the court. We'll take a 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap this thing up. Welcome back to the Wildcat Arena. Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan with you, Titus Fetters, and Grayson Brown doing camera work for us. David Clary executively producing this ball game. We appreciate him. We appreciate Mark and Shauna Haste. For all they do, they're taking a couple nights off for preparation for a long season. They deserve it. Here comes Ethan James. James turns, spins, kicks it out to Cooper Williams. Nice pump fake. Great dish back to James. James unselfishly had an open shot but decided to kick it to Williams. Williams to Howard. Howard inside layup, no good. Great possession, a lot of good looks. Mike, I think they passed up too many open looks, and somebody's just got to shoot the ball. Unselfish play, though.
Yeah, it was. Good passing the ball around. Just couldn't get the ball to go in the hoop.
Clinton just kind of playing hot potato at the top of the key. Don't look like they're in any hurry to get the shot off. They do finally launch a three, in and out, no good. As James comes out of there with it, Oak Ridge has two starters into the ball game right now still. That would be Shamar Green and Cooper Williams. They're inside there along with Malik Howard, a capable starter-type player who's going to take it and just dominating right now, kind of getting to the glass at will. So he's working his way back from football. Nice to see him out there looking good. Eli Peters and Ethan James, the other two Wildcats on the floor with 2:12 to go. 2:10 now in the fourth quarter, 82-52, the Wildcat lead. Here comes Eisen. Eisen had the ball stripped away, and here's Peters. Peters ahead to Malik Howard, 3-on-2. Howard going to take a three. Good. They're going to say it's a two. That's the right call. Very close, but his foot was on the line. Oak Ridge going to try to get a couple of substitutes in here. They would like to get Charlie Taubenheim and Josh Amos into the game. We'll see if there's a stoppage of play that allows them to do that. Oak Ridge saying that when they get the ball back, they'd like to have a timeout, but they're not trying to discuss anything. They simply want to get a couple of guys in the ball game. Jarrell Jimerson going to be the only Wildcat not to play in this ball game. Cutler Green did not dress out. Not sure what the story is there, but for Jarrell Jimerson, he's obviously still not back from that injury from football, I don't think. So every Wildcat that dressed will play tonight, it appears. Does Oak Ridge want a timeout? They do. And they say, we don't even want to huddle. We just simply want to get these guys in. Cooper Williams will come out. Malik Howard will come out. So it will be Peters, Taubenheim, Amos, Green, and James. And I lied. Yeah, I can get it. Thank you. As Dolan James is the only Wildcat that dressed that didn't play, but I think he had to go out. I'm not sure. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll finish this one up. We're back to Wildcat Arena. James with it up top to Amos. Band is still playing. James turns, fires, shot up, no good. And Clinton has the rebound. Mike Sheehan, this ball game is going to mercifully come to an end. A lot of fireworks, a lot of excitement, but I think everybody involved says, let's just get this thing over with. Get out the brooms. It'll be a clean sweep for the Wildcats. JV wins. Girls win. And the boys are going to win. 33 seconds to play. James turns, finds Amos. Thought about a shot, gives it to Taubenheim. Taubenheim left to James. James holding the ball now. Has it stripped away, and Clinton comes out of there with it with 20 seconds. Will they fire another shot? We'll see. Nelson sizes up Amos. We'll see if they want to take a shot. I thought they were going to just run the clock out. It does look like they might take a shot. We'll see. And it looks like they're not going to take a shot, as Eisen just going to kind of surrender this ball game. As Oak Ridge wins 84-54, a rout. The Wildcats win it. And Mike, a lot of fireworks. We'll come back to talk about it in 3 minutes. You and I will discuss. We'll talk to Coach Green.